Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Rizal Faiz Komal from class B3 2019 or crossing class 2020 of English Education Study Program IKIP Siliwangi. In this occasion, I will present side translation from source language is Indonesia and the target language is English that I take from Indonesia President's speech. Well, let's begin. His Majesty Boris Johnson, British Prime Minister, His Excellency Ivan Marquez, President of Colombia, ladies and gentlemen, I respect. At yesterday's summit, I said that forestry and land sector in Indonesia will reach net carbon sink by 2013. This is Indonesia's commitment to be part of the solution. And Indonesia's real achievements in the forestry sector are indisputable. In 2020, the rate of forest fires in Indonesia was minimized by 82%. In 2019, the reduction in emission from forest and land use was reduced by 40.5% when compared to 2015. Deforestation in Indonesia has also reached its lowest level in 20 years. This comes at a time when the world lost 12% more primary forest last year than the previous year, and when many developed countries actually experienced the largest forest and land fires in history. This success was achieved because Indonesia placed climate action in the context of sustainable development. And sustainable forest management policies must combine environmental and economic and social considerations. Partnership with the community also take precedence. The social forestry program was created so that forest conservation is accompanied by the creation of livelihoods for the surrounding community. This is important because 3.4% of all villages in Indonesia are located on the border of within the forest area. Millions of Indonesians depend on the forestry sector for their lives. Denying this is not only unrealistic but also unsustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share the perspective of making forest part of global climate action. First, our attention must include all types of forest ecosystems, not only tropical forests, but also temperate and boreal climate forests. Wildfires, for example, impact greenhouse gas emissions and biodiversity regardless of ecosystem type. Regarding forest management, Indonesia has also changed the paradigm, namely from forest product management to forest landscape management, so that forest area management becomes more comprehensive. In addition, Indonesia also restored mangrove ecosystems, mangrove forests that play a role in absorbing and storing carbon. Indonesia has more than 20% of the world's total mangrove area, that is 3.3 million hectares of mangrove forest in Indonesia, the largest in the world. Second, incentive mechanism must be provided for sustainable forest management. Certification and production standards must be accompanied by market incentives so that they function to encourage sustainable forest management, not become a trade barrier. Certifications, methodologies, and standards should be based on multilaterally recognized parameters, not unilaterally imposed and capricious. Certification must be equitable so that it has an impact on the welfare of especially small farmers. Certification must also take into account all aspects of the SDGs so the forest management is in line with poverty alleviation and community empowerment. Third, mobilize funding and technology support for developing countries. Commitment must be made through real action, real implementation, not rhetoric. Providing assistance doesn't mean that it can dictate, let alone violate, a country's sovereign right over its territory. Support should be country-driven based on the real needs of developing country forest owners. For Indonesia, with or without support, we will continue to move forward. We develop innovative sources of funding, including the establishment of the Environmental Fund Management Agency, the issuance of green bonds and green sukuk, as well as developing the carbon economic value mechanism as an incentive for the private sector to achieve emission reductions. Leaders, as many as 90% of the world's population living in extreme poverty depends on forests. The misuse of the issue of climate change as a trade barrier is a big mistake. This will erode trust in international cooperation to address climate change and instead hinder the much needed sustainable development. Forest management within the framework of sustainable development is the only option. We are ready to share experience and knowledge for it. Let's manage forests that are pro-environment, pro-development, and people-centered. This is a key objective of the Forest, Agriculture, and Commodity Trade Dialogue, co-chaired by Indonesia and the UK, so that forests will be a sustainable solution to global climate action. Thanks. That's all for me. Thank you.